Hello there everyone, it is me, Michael. Today I'm going to be putting together the Hufflepuff Common Room in The Sims 3. This was a request that I decided to put together, and the last two takes that I've done of this have been absolutely awful. So off the bat, I am just going to throw out all the details. That way I don't forget, because the last two takes, honestly, have been utter garbage. So, as I said, this is built in The Sims 3. I built it in the town of Riverview, but because it's just a room, it really doesn't matter if you put it in Riverview. I used quite a bit of store content, though nothing that I think is like exceptionally exclusive. Those windows are from the town Midnight Hollow, however. I don't think this room should have had windows if they weren't low to the ground. And in The Sims 3, you can't have any windows that are low to the ground if they're not those, because they never released windows that were low to the ground. And you weren't able to reposition windows like you can in The Sims 4. And although I am the type of person who thinks that The Sims 3's building experience is far more in depth, I can say that some of the Sims 4 features we ended up with are just phenomenal. So today in this Hufflepuff Common Room, we are using just some Midnight Hollow stuff. We use quite a few items from the Brunch at the Old Mill set, such as that Hobbit hole fireplace. That's what I refer to it as. I've just received 2 text messages from my mother telling me that she will be home much later than she anticipated. So I am going to text her back as I talk to you all. I'm going to be telling her, I hope all is well. Let me know what I can get done. Love you. Be safe. Like I said, these have been garbage recordings, and even this one so far is going better because I've at least been talking about what I'm doing. As Hogwarts was built in the 900s, I decided to go for a majority of the wall as paneling rather than wallpaper, because wallpaper didn't become popular until 1700s, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I took interiors and society the first semester of university, and we didn't talk about wallpaper until an exceptionally late part of the class, just because wallpaper really wasn't that big of a thing, and then it died out. How funny. This back room was inspired by Professor Sprout, the head of house in Hufflepuff. I thought Professor Sprout would love to have a little bit of greenery for her students, so I threw ivy all along the walls because, I mean, well, it's not a greenhouse and it's not a sunroom. It's just a room full of plants that are being kept alive by magic because they would not survive any other way. Those doors are absolutely beautiful. They came from the Regal Living set in the Sims 3 store. Yeah, like I said, I use a little bit of store content, but I think it's okay because it all really helps the build. I didn't just use store content to use store content. I used it like when I felt it would really enhance what I was doing. Yeah. So as we sit tight and wait for me to create a style this rocking chair, I think I should move into talking about music because I do that like every video and not much happens in the next 3 minutes. I'm just going to be creating a study section. So my chalkboard always gets a quote on it because I do hand lettering on the chalkboard. I'm not going to recommend my hand lettering journal to you unless you like hand lettering, because it's 30 minutes of me explaining my life instead of actually talking about the process of hand lettering. But right now my chalkboard has a quote from the correspondence, "Fear and delight all the way through the night." It's an absolutely wonderful song called Fear and Delight. I highly recommend you listen to it. If I had to recommend some artists to you, I just queued Taylor Swift's The Archer. twice. Okay, Taylor Swift's The Archer. Highly recommend that. I was just listening to it. The new album by Anthony Amorim, Sad Forever, is absolutely wonderful. Best songs, probably You Were Drunk, Mr. Melancholy, and Sad Forever. Those are my 3 picks. Yeah. If you haven't listened to Bad Day by Daniel Powter in a long time, I highly recommend you go back and listen to that song. And now let's go into my Spotify playlist, An Ideal That Doesn't Make Me Cry. Hooray. So I can just recommend a couple of extras. I fell in the kitchen yesterday dancing to Friends on the Other Side, a Disney cover, like a Disney villain medley produced by Thomas Sanders. That was honestly one of the best things that I've heard in a long time. Yeah, I definitely don't want to go looking through this because I feel like I'll just get quiet, and that's not especially fun for you guys. Yeah. So let's move right along. As you can see, I've pretty much finished up the build, put in mismatched chairs in the study section, and just a single sofa in front of the fireplace. I didn't think Hufflepuffs would be I didn't know if I wanted to say exceptionally or especially. Pick one. I didn't think Hufflepuffs would be especially demanding about stuff like that. I wanted everything to look a little bit worn out, a little bit old. I thought Hufflepuff House was the perfect place to exercise some eclectic / rustic style. Anyway, this is available for download from The Sims 3 Studio, The Sims 3 Exchange, and it's in my Sims 3 Studio. I hope you all enjoyed this build, and I hope that I did the Hufflepuff Common Room justice for you guys. I sincerely hope you are happy with it. I hope you get to use it and enjoy it. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.